Hello, everybody. It's good to be here today. My name is Erica Flint, and welcome to the webinar on getting new hypnosis clients with Google Fast. My name is Erica Flint, and I'm here right now in beautiful Bellingham, Washington, and it is a beautiful day here. I hope it is wherever you are in the world today. So thank you, everyone, for being here. I see that we have a good crowd already, so that's great. So here's how the training today will work. First, I want to make sure that you have a copy of this document. Get new hypnosis clients with Google in about 2 hours. So if you don't have that document yet, you can go to cascadehypnosistraining.com//AdWords. And so let me type that real quick into the chat. If you guys are looking at the webinar right now, you should see a chat on your right-hand side there. So I'm going to type that URL in there for you, Cascade Hypnosis Training, AdWords. All right. So I'd like you to get that book or this e-document now. Hello, Joe. It's nice to see you. Thanks for typing into the chat. So it's this ebook document, and we're going to be going over, if you've read it already, then excellent. So this is how it's going to work today. I'm going to go through the basic training. Now, let me tell you guys something. This is what I want us to do today. I want us to have a lot of fun. All right. Now, we're all hypnotists or aspiring hypnotists or training hypnotists, and everybody probably already knows that the brain learns better when we're having fun. So I also know that a lot of people get a little overwhelmed when it comes to technology and AdWords. So I'm going to simplify it for you here today. We're going to go over the primary components for you to get an ad up, a couple ads up, one campaign and a couple ads, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute, and simplify it for you. There are details in this document that I've mentioned, and so I'm not going to go over all of the nitty-gritty details because it's going to be in the document. I want to stick to some of the things and show you a screenshot and go through the process for you so that you can follow along and get your own stuff going. All right, so I want you to have a pen and paper ready. Write down any questions that you have. It's likely that I'll already answer the questions before we finish the initial portion of the training, but at the very end of the training is when I'm going to open up and I'm going to answer all of your questions. I'm not going to be following the chat as we go through this. I will answer the questions at the end, okay, because it's very likely that a lot of them will be answered at the end of the call. And there's also an opportunity if you guys want to ask me a question, there's a button that you can press where you request to speak, okay? All right, so I used AdWords to get my first hypnosis clients, and this was back in 2013. And so I put an ad online, and in 2 days I had my first hypnosis client. My background is in software engineering, so I worked for a large corporation in corporate America for almost 15 years, and I've been a software engineer, so I'm a pretty technical person, and I had actually used AdWords previous. I had a animal photography business, and I donated the funds to charity. So I had used it there before, and I knew that it worked. I knew it worked really well. So I wanted to use it to bring in some new hypnosis clients. And that's what I want to do here today too. You guys, I love hypnosis. I know you probably do too. It's really powerful. I think as hypnotists, we do have a lot of work to do to help people understand how can hypnosis help them. And so AdWords is really good because we get to reach more people that aren't necessarily aware of our services yet. So we're reaching people that we don't know. For me, this is what's called an awareness strategy. So I have an awareness strategy where I have these AdWords campaigns, and they go out when you're typing into Google. My ads will show up. So let me show you guys that first. One thing that I want to share with you really is, first of all, one of the things that you'll want to do is you'll want to get, if you haven't done this before, you'll want to get an AdWords campaign. Now, Google wants to make it really easy for you to get started. So one of the things that you can do, I'm going to share my screen now, so you won't see my face anymore. I'm going to share my screen instead. Give me just a second. Okay, so you'll see me looking over in the other direction if you can see me, because it's on another screen over here. Okay, so if you type in AdWords, coupon, you're going to see here, Google AdWords coupon code. Google will basically give you $75 in ad credit when you spend $25. So they're basically giving you $50 to start. So everybody can take in a nice deep breath. Yay, it's 50 bucks. They'll give you $50 to get started, all right? So we're going to simplify this for you today. It's going to be fun, and to a large degree, it can be free for the first month, all right? So hopefully that makes you guys feel a little bit better already. AdWords is Google's flagship product. They make about $9 billion a year off of AdWords. It does work really, really well. However, it's also really easy to spend too much money if you don't know what you're doing or if you're not doing it right. Okay, so that being said, what does AdWords really do? Well, what it does is, I'll ask you guys a question. The last time that you needed to know something, what did you do? Now, most people will just go into Google and they'll do something like this. Hey, you know what? This happened to me today. Heater. Unfortunately, we don't have to talk about that now. Heater repair. All right. So my heater's making a funny sound. All right. So thankfully there's a sticker on the heater. So I just called them. But if I didn't have a sticker on my heater, I would probably go to Google and I would type in heater repair, right? Okay. So here's what I want you to understand. This ad right here, you see how it has ad right there? That is an AdWords campaign. That's an AdWords ad. Okay, so that's what we're talking about here. When you go into Google and you type something into this space right up here, good, you can see my mouse. The results, okay, the search term results, the results that are coming up, these are all ads right here, and this is what's coming from Google. Now, you might be familiar with something called search engine, where you want to get your pages at the very top of the search engine, and it's called SEOs. What I want you to understand about that search engine optimization is that is unpaid. So that's pretty much something, the holy grail, I guess, of websites, where you want to come up at the top of search results without having to pay for anything. Now that's what's called a long-term awareness strategy. That might take you a really long time to do that. With Google AdWords, you can do it right away. So you can be at the top of the search results right away, okay? All right, so that's just a really simplistic overview of why you might want to use Google and what it is really doing. Another reason why I really like AdWords is because when we have a question and we go to get an answer like this, the answer is right there. Let me compare that for you with something else. For example, Facebook marketing. Facebook marketing tends to do what we consider interruptive marketing. So interruptive marketing is like a commercial, right? So you're watching television and you're interrupted to get a commercial. Okay, so Facebook advertising does the same thing, where you're scrolling through your feed and you're interrupted to see a Facebook ad. Google AdWords is not interruptive marketing. So people, our clients, are searching for a problem right then and there, okay? So for example, somebody might have stress, or they might have anxiety, or they might have something else going on in their life, help with weight loss, how to stop smoking, those types of things, and your ad can appear at the top of search results. So there are three components to any search. One is the client, the potential client, the client that needs help. So they have a question. How do I lose weight? How do I stop smoking? You know, how do I repair my heater? How do I get somebody to help me with that? The second component is Google. All right. So Google's job, and what Google really cares about, is called relevancy. So Google, what we're going to talk about today, this is going to make more sense to you guys as we go through it over and over again, because I'll continue to mention to you how important relevancy really is. Google wants to help the client get their question answered. So that's where you come in. Now you, as the advertiser, want to answer that question. So if somebody types in, how do I lose weight with hypnosis, they might show your ad. So it's a triple win. When your ad is displayed and your client clicks on it, they're going to get the help that they need. You're going to get a new client, and Google's going to make a couple dollars in the process. So everybody wins. That's the goal, and that's how it works. So let's get started. I'm going to show you right now. And I can show you just real quick. I were to type in something like weight loss, something like that, make sure that you guys can see that. All right, so here is an ad right here, Cascade Hypnosis Center. This is my business for weight loss here. There's some other ads up here, and my ad will come up here sometimes. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it comes down here. All right, so here's my ad right here, Bellingham Weight Loss. And what we want to do is we want people to click on that ad, okay? All right, so how do we do that? Well, like I said, first of all, go here, go to your AdWords coupon, type in AdWords coupon, and get your $75 coupon when you spend $25. So that'll help. All right, so the next part, I'm going to go to my AdWords here. Here's what I want to tell you guys. We're not going to go through setting up the AdWords account. And the reason is because they're going to ask for things like credit card number, your email address, and all of those things. And it's covered in this. It's covered in the book that I shared with you in the ebook. You guys already know how to do that. So we're going to stick with the most important things today that you need to know. And so this is how you do it. We're going to create a new campaign. All right. So this blue button right here is how you create a new campaign. I don't think it's very intuitive. I kind of missed it actually the first time, but this is what you want to do. So once you log in to Google, you go through this document, get your account all set up, then you're going to want to add a new campaign. All right, so what's a campaign? A campaign is a collection of what should I call it? Configuration. I would call it a settings and configuration. So settings, the amount that you want to pay, when you want your ads to run, and location. Okay, so let me give you an example of a campaign. I'll have a weight loss campaign for me. Now, in my account, I'll also have a training. So I'm a hypnosis trainer, and I train here in Bellingham 4 to 6 times every single year. So I have 2 different campaigns for those, 2 different campaigns for those services, one for weight loss and one for training. So why would I do that? Well, because they're 2 completely different things. One is I'm bringing in new students, one I'm bringing in new clients. For the weight loss campaign, I might be advertising, for example, in a 50-mile radius. For the students, I might advertise in the entire state of Washington, for example, something like that. So the campaign level covers fees, like how you're going to structure how much you're paying, how much you want to pay, and your location, okay, and when you want your ads to run. All right, so back to the campaign. I'm going to click on New Campaign. All right, so New Campaign. All right, there's a lot of choices here. As I told you guys before, I'm going to help make it really simple for you by telling you exactly what I want you to do. All right, so the first thing I want you to do is I want you to click on Search Network. Okay, so Search Network is what I showed you earlier. It's the Google search bar. When you type in a search term there, that's when you get the search engine report. That's when you get all of the list of services there, the list of links. The display network, shopping, all of these other things here, they might be things that you want to add over time, but initially start with a search network. Okay, so what I like to select is leads. Okay, so leads are going to bring in conversions, and they're going to bring in people to your website. Okay, so this is the one that I like to choose. You could probably also select website traffic if you wanted, but I would recommend leads for now. Now, if you were selling a lot of products on your site, which you might be now, and you could be later, for example, maybe you're going to have some hypnosis recordings, or maybe you have a recording of a class that you taught or something like that, or a book. I have a couple books on my website that I've authored. You can have sales. You could drive people to your site to actually sell things. But for now, let's stick with leads. All right, so we're going to start with leads here. And I want website visits, and I also want phone calls. Now, this is really cool, you guys, because if you don't have a website yet, you can still do this, and you can just drive people to your website. Okay, I want to cover one thing really quickly here. We're talking about a product called Google AdWords. It's Google's full-blown product, okay? There's another product that Google has that's called AdWords Express. We're not talking about AdWords Express today, and personally, I don't recommend using it for a couple of reasons. AdWords Express, the Express component of AdWords Express, means that Google is making a lot of choices and a lot of decisions for you. And in my opinion, I've tried this. I didn't think that AdWords Express did a very good job for my business. Now, there's mixed results. I know some people who have used AdWords Express and they do like it for their business. I personally don't. I like to have a little bit more control, and I don't think it has to be complex, especially when you follow what I'm sharing with you guys today. So I recommend full-blown AdWords, and that's what we're doing here today. All right, so get website visitors. All right, so we're going to do what's called a generic ad today. All right, so there is a formula for what you want to do when you first get started. So the formula is the following. You're going to create a generic ad for hypnosis, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. And you're going to do what's called keyword research. All right, so keyword research basically is all of these people are going to come into your site and they're going to use certain terms to find you. Now, after about a month, you're going to see what people are actually typing in to find you, and then you can make modifications. Okay, so that is the strategy at the very beginning. All right, because what do we want to do? We want to make our site and our campaigns really relevant. The more relevant they are, the more likely the person searching is to click on your ad and then become your client. Okay, so get website visits. So we're going to do, I have two websites, CascadeHypnosisTraining.com. That's where this book is, and that's for my students. That's for my graduates. That's for all of the training that I do. And then I have CascadeHypnosisCenter.com, and that's for all of my clients and everything here. Okay, Cascade Hypnosis. Center.com. Okay. And I want to get phone calls. I'm going to do an ad, local ad. And that's what I recommend you guys do. I will go into this in a little more detail, but a local ad, you might be a virtual company, and that's fine. I have a lot of friends and coaches and authors that do virtual work, but it's a lot more affordable if you start locally. Okay. All right. So my phone number, I'm going to type in my phone number. If I was doing a more of a national campaign, which I have done before for my book, for Reprogram Your Weight, my next book is coming out soon, so I'll do the same thing with that one. I use a 1-800 number. But I do like the idea of a potential client seeing my ad and seeing a local phone number, right? That helps them feel safe and secure. Oh, this person is local, all right? So I'm using my local phone number for here. All right, so now I'm going to press this blue button, continue. All right, so I'm going to now type in a campaign name. So we're just going to type in a generic name. Let's call it Hypnosis. Let's just call it December, because then I'll know. I'll just delete this later because I already have all of this stuff set up. Okay, so December 2017. Okay, all right, so on the networks here, here's what I want you guys to do. There's probably a lot of information online as to why I do one or the other. Just take my word for it for now. Initially, do the search network. Do not include the Google search partners. Now, remember we talked about relevancy. Google does a really good job with pairing your ad with a potential client. The search partners don't do quite as good of a job, so it's not as relevant. So I don't recommend including Google search partners here initially. Now, ad display network, I would say no, that's not what you want either. The display network is like when you are searching a website and you see those ads on the right-hand side or at the bottom. So you could be like some newspaper website or something like that, and you see ads on it. Again, it's not as relevant, and that's a little bit more of interruptive marketing because somebody's just browsing a page, okay? So ad display network, no, and unclick include Google search partners. All right, so now this next part, all right. I want to enter a location to target or exclude. All right, so I wouldn't target the entire United States. It's just going to be more expensive for you to do that. And the reason is because you'll be competing with everybody else in the United States. Okay, so this is why I think that starting with a local campaign is the best route. Okay, so you can enter the location to target or exclude. For me, there's 3 that I primarily use. So I'll type in Whatcom County. Whatcom County, Island County, oops, and Skagit County. Now make sure that you're really reading these really carefully, because there's other locations that you might not even be aware of that are very similar to yours or identical in name, actually, and you don't want to be advertising to some other location. I get calls every once in a while from people. I think there's another Bellingham on the East Coast, and I don't advertise there, so I'm not quite sure how they find me. They might just type in Bellingham Hypnosis and don't realize it's not their Bellingham, and they'll call me and realize that I'm not the Bellingham down the street from them. All right, so we've got these 3 locations targeted. There's another cool way that you guys can do this, so I want to show you. You can select Advanced Search. All right. So another way that I like to do this is called radius targeting. Okay, so you can click on radius targeting, and for me, people will drive, actually they'll fly in to see me, but in general, people will drive, geez, I've had people drive in from Tacoma, so that's like 180 miles. So they'll drive a long way. However, for me, I have to think about what's most relevant. It's more likely that people in my local area will be driving to see me. So I commonly will choose a 50-mile radius for people to come see me. Okay, so at a 50-mile radius, we're going to start in Bellingham, Washington. Oh yeah, there's Bellingham, Mass there, so make sure you pick the right one. Okay, so 50-mile radius. So this is what I wanted to show you guys. You see this part up here? This is Canada. I'm about 20 miles south of the Canadian border. Now, I get people from Canada all the time, but they're usually also living here, okay? So I used to advertise in Canada, and I just found that most of my Canadian clients, they also lived here. And so what I stopped advertising in Canada just because it's not as relevant, okay? I mean, people have to cross the border to come see me, and that makes it less convenient. So what you can do is you can then exclude a location too. So let me show you guys how to do that. So you can have 50 miles around Washington. So let's see if it will do this. Canada. Okay, so, oops. What I want to do is I want to exclude. So let's see if that's on the next page. They change their interface all the time, you guys. So don't get discouraged if you don't see it right away. It's usually that they've just changed something. So what I want to do is Canada. Okay. All right, I'm not seeing where it's showing me how to exclude it. If you guys have that question, let me know, because I will figure this out. I have it on some of my other ads. Let me try one other thing. Add a location to target or exclude. Locations. All right. So I'll have to get back to you guys on this one. They've changed it, and it's not very intuitive right now. So what I recommend doing, at least for me, if I was setting up this campaign right now, I would just be happy with removing the radius targeting, and I would just stick with what I already had, which is what I use now anyway. However, you might have an area where 50 miles would be great, but you want to exclude a very specific county, let's say. And so the exclusion component of it is really helpful. Okay, you might know that there's somebody, another hypnotist there. You might know that who's doing really great work, or maybe you know that people in that area aren't as likely to want to work with hypnosis, something like that. So the exclusion component is really helpful. All right, so let's just save that for now. All right. So English, I'm going to stick with English. That's my primary language. I don't speak a second language. It would be nice to have a hypnotist here. I have a couple hypnotists here that work at my center besides me. It would be nice to have a Spanish-speaking hypnotist here. I might consider that someday, actually. And if that were the case, then I might actually put a Spanish language ads here. So I might want to target people who are speaking Spanish, okay? All right. For the bidding structure, I choose maximize conversions. Now, a conversion is when somebody downloads something from your website, they might call you on the phone, that type of a thing, okay? One really important point here, you guys, is that Google isn't actually going to convert clients for you. You still either have to have a good website or you have to know how to answer their phone. They aren't just going to sign the clients up for you. So you still have to do the work. Google is going to basically make this loving connection between you and your potential client, and then it's still your job to convert them to a client. Okay, so that's a really important point. The budget that I recommend is start with $10 a day. Okay, you probably wouldn't spend $10 a day if things were set up properly, at least initially. But I think that that's a good amount to get your campaign going and bringing in some new clients. I think yesterday, or I wrote it down, yesterday I spent $48. I got 8 clicks, 3 phone calls, and 2 conversions. So 2 new clients yesterday, one for me, one for one of my hypnotists here, for, you know, a couple $1,000s total, right, between the whole thing, the package and everything, and it costs $48. So you have to invest a little bit in this. 8 clicks, 3 phone calls, and then the 2 conversions. So this is a great way to grow your business. All right. Down here, start and end dates. I don't set an end date, so it's just going to start immediately. I don't recommend doing dynamic search ads at this point. The site link extensions, this is a good one to set up. So a site link extension would be something like the following. I'm going to click on this. If you guys are brand new to this, you'll have to set it up to begin with, but it's pretty easy to do. So think, if you do have a website, think about some of the primary aspects of your website. Most people will have something like about us, you know, about Cascade Hypnosis Center, or about Erica, or about Erica's books, or, you know, about the training, contact us, schedule a free consultation now. So those are some of the site links that you can add for your site, for your campaign, and Google will put them underneath your ad. And the nice thing is that sometimes people just want to click on, you know, they'll see your ad and they just want to click on schedule now. They're like, oh, I just need help. Schedule now, schedule the free consultation now. So I'm going to show you what site links I have here. Contact us, hypnosis for weight loss. That's one of the things that I primarily focus on. I have 2 books on that. So it's kind of, you'll see a lot of that in my campaign. That's why I want to share that with you guys. For my business, I focus a lot on that. Schedule today. I have a link to services. I have another hypnotist here who really focuses on stopping smoking and stress. We have the training schedule. So all of these site links will be put underneath the ad, the original ad, and potential clients can just click right on it. All right, so call out extensions. What in the world is a call out extension? All right, so a call out extension, and I'll show you guys what they look like, is really like a call out, like call today, schedule your free consult today. It's like those little things on the side of a book, or those little things on a poster on the inside of somebody's business that says Tuesday special, you know, those types of things. So the call out extensions are really short little blurbs. So 25% off initial session, free consultations daily, get started today. Now, the cool thing, you guys, is that when you put these call outs there, Google does the job of displaying them for you. Google has all sorts of analytics, and they know which ones are most effective. So this is why for the first month, I want you guys to do this campaign and let it run for a month. Google's going to figure out with their really super smart analytics which ones work best for you. So we're going to get to creating an ad in a moment. I'm going to have you create 2 ads. And it's important to have 2 because Google can show them and see which one performs better. Google does all of that work. All you have to do is set up this first campaign. And really, I don't think it has to take that long. I'm doing a lot of additional talking here, but if you go through this when we're done here and you go through this all on your own, you should be able to set up a campaign probably in less than an hour and have your stuff ready to go. Okay, so that's good news. Okay, call extensions. So let's see here. I forgot to click some of these. All right, so I want to use for this one, contact us. This is a generic ad. Oops, schedule an appointment. What is hypnosis? Yeah, that's a good one, right? I frequently asked questions about hypnosis. Is hypnosis sleep? Is it mind control? Those types of things. Those are very common questions for our clients, so we want to help them answer those questions. And so those are the site link extensions that I'm going to use for this campaign. These are going to be links to web pages already on your site. Okay, the call out extensions. Let's see, free consultations daily. I like that one. Get started today. That's hopeful. If I was doing a weight loss campaign, I'd probably, my second book is called Lighter. I'd probably put feel lighter emotionally. I'd probably put natural and safe. I'll put natural and safe for this one too, because hypnosis is natural and safe. No deprivation. That's a good one for weight loss. People worry that they're going to have to starve themselves. I like proven process. All right, so again, I'm choosing these now, and Google's going to be the one that selects which ones to use and which ones are most effective. Okay, call extensions. All right, so I've got my 2 call extensions here. It's a local ad, so I'm going to include this one. If it was that nationwide ad that I use for Reprogram Your Weight, my book, I would use the 844 number, okay, just to be clear. And I might use that one too if I were advertising for hypnosis training out of the state, which I've done before. So I've done that in the Pacific Northwest area. I get a lot of students from Idaho, a lot of students from Oregon, a lot of students from California. So I can advertise in those areas to bring in other students. Okay, so let's save and continue. Okay. Here, the next thing that we're going to do is called setting up an ad group. Okay, so we talked about a campaign before. A campaign is kind of like a really high level. I would think of it maybe as kind of a service or an offering. I said to you guys, I have a campaign for hypnosis training and one for hypnosis services, right? I also have a separate campaign for weight loss because it's very specific. The more you do this, the more relevant you'll want to make things. And I do want to tell you guys something. You might have seen how my campaign looked at the very beginning, kind of the homepage, and there's a lot of data and there's a lot of information there. But when I started, I only had one campaign. When I started, I only had what I'm sharing with you guys today, and it's successful and it works. Okay. All right. So ad group number 1. What is an ad group? Campaign is the top level. Underneath that is an ad group. Okay, so what is an ad group? I want you to think of an ad group as a web page. So if you have a web page for stopping smoking, you would have an ad group for stop smoking. If you had an ad group for weight loss or weight release, whatever you want to call it, quit smoking, whatever you like to use in your business. I know there's a lot of different terms that people prefer. Go ahead and call it that. All right. I'm just going to call this Hypnosis 1. All right. So this is just a generic hypnosis ad. I'm doing this on purpose. Okay. So here's what I recommend doing. And if you guys have the download here, the details are in here. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all of the specific details on the different keyword types and all of that stuff because it's just a little overwhelming and it's not relevant right now. Okay, now you guys know what to do if you feel overwhelmed, right? You're all hypnotists. You know exactly what to do. I'm sure you take in that nice deep breath. Let's all do it now. We can just enjoy, hey, you know what? It's Friday, right? And we have some fun stuff, hopefully, with our families on Monday. So you take in that nice deep breath. Bring yourself back to the present moment. And then you think, you know, what's the next smallest thing? That's one of my favorites from Melissa Tears. If any of you guys know Melissa Tears, I love that from hers. What's the next smallest thing? So the next smallest thing for you, you can, if you get overwhelmed or you get stuck, just send me an email. Just send me an email here. Let me put my email in the text. Erica at Cascade hypnosiscenter.com. Now, cannot guarantee that I'd be able to get back to you immediately because I am extremely busy. However, I love helping hypnotists help more people. I believe in hypnosis so much. I just want the whole world to know. That's why I'm here today sharing with you guys. So I do not want you to feel overwhelmed. Take that deep breath. Think to yourself, I know exactly what to do. You can email me. You can refer back to any of this other stuff. All right. Meaning the recording or the book, the ebook. Okay. I've taught this class at the NGH a number of years too, you guys. So there's a CD recording of this. If you go to the NGH website, you can order past training. So you can get versions of this on CD if you want, listen in your car, that type of thing. If you need help with that or you're interested in that, just let me know. I have all of that stuff. Okay, back to what we're doing. Okay, so keywords. So what is a keyword? All right, so this is what a keyword is. Okay, so let's do, this is a keyword right here, hypnosis, weight loss. That's a keyword. That search term is what Google considers a keyword. Okay, so they're the same thing. In AdWords, we call it a keyword. For our clients, it's just called a search term or what they type into Google. Okay, here's what I want you to do. Let's make it really easy, okay? I want you to do this. Plus, put in the plus sign, hypnosis. Plus, we're gonna list every variation of hypnosis, and then I'm gonna tell you in a minute why. Okay, plus hypnotherapy. If you guys see a misspelling, let me know. Hypnotism. Hypnotherapist. Hypnotist. Okay. I think those are pretty good for the variations on hypnosis. So why did I do it that way? Well, here's why. So the plus sign tells Google that that word must be in the sentence, the search term, okay? So if you don't have that plus sign there, Google uses a little bit of leeway when they match a search term with your results, with your ad, okay? So we want to have our ads be as relevant as possible. So I want you, this is called a broad match modifier, okay? So you can just let that float on out of your brain right now. You don't even need to know it. You're going to see it again here, okay? So for those of you that are technically inclined out there, that's the actual term. So now you've got it. Everybody else, you just let it float out of your brain right now because it doesn't matter, okay? So you just use these words right here, okay? That's how I want you to start if you're brand new. And here's why. Anytime somebody types in the word hypnosis, hypnotism, hypnotherapist, any of that stuff, and it's within the radius that you've already identified, your ad can come up, okay? So it can be that simple. And this is exactly what I did to get my first clients. Now, again, over time, I started kind of massaging it and making it more relevant and having other ads and making them more specific. But this is exactly what I did the very first time, okay? All right. We're going to save and continue. This is how we're starting. Okay, so now we're going to come up with a new ad. You want to have at least 2 ads, okay? And the reason is because Google's going to show them both at the beginning. So there's a little test period where Google's trying it out and testing the audiences, kind of like testing the waters. Maybe this person likes it. Maybe this person likes it. And how do they do that? They match the search term that somebody types in here with your keywords that you just typed in up here. That's how they do it. Those 2 things match. Oops, there's your ad. Okay. Now, if somebody clicks on your ad, now they click on your ad, they're going to go to your website, right? So if somebody clicks on your ad, Google thinks and Google considers that your ad is now relevant. They're showing your ad to people and people are clicking on it. Must be relevant. Okay, so that's a very good thing. All right, so now we're going to come up with an ad. New ad. Okay, definitely just want to start with a new text ad. All right. Okay, so the final URL, just going to put in my website, Cascade Hypnosis Center.com. Okay, now just a little caveat here, you guys. In general, you don't really want to use your home page as the page that you're sending people to. But we're going to do it for now because we're doing the keyword research, right? This is just how we're starting. In general, let's just say that you really love working with kids, or let's say you really love helping people with, quitting smoking or something like that. you'll want to send them directly to the Quitting Smoking page or Working with Kids page if you have that ad group for them. So again, relevancy. You want to make it as relevant as possible. Okay, so let's come up with a headline here. I'm going to share with you guys one that I like. Let's see, it's pretty generic. Bellingham hypnotherapy. All right, so let's talk about this word hypnotherapy. Some people like it, some people don't. The NGH doesn't like us to use the word hypnotherapy. It's a protected word in many states, but I'm here in Washington State, and guess what? We are legally called hypnotherapists, according to the state of Washington. So yes, I use the word hypnotherapy. I'm a registered hypnotherapist with the state of Washington. So it's a little bit confusing, you know, but that's just how it is, and so we just roll with it. Okay. Bellingham hypnotherapy. Let's do this one. Regain control and feel better. Remember, this is kind of a generic ad. So this is what I want you guys to do. This is really cool. Okay, you're all hypnotists. So when you're done with this call today, I just want you to do a little bit of future progression, age progression, whatever you want to call it. And I want you to get in the mind of your ideal client. Okay, so you're going to close your eyes and you're going to imagine, what is my ideal client doing, right? So your ideal client is probably out there suffering. They're struggling. They're desperate. They're frustrated. They're upset. So in their mind, what do they really want? So you might want to write this down. What is my ideal client's dream come true? What's their dream come true? Okay, so regaining control, feeling in control, feeling better. Those are all things that our ideal clients really want. Okay, so we want to share with them how we're going to help them and that experience, how they're going to feel. Okay, so this is what all advertisers and marketers are trying to do. They're trying to understand their ideal client and their dream come true. And in the advertising, they're sharing with them that dream come true so that the client just, oh yeah, that's what I want. I want to regain control. I want to feel better. I'm going to click on that ad. Okay. All right. So let's just pause right here. I want to show you guys something over here. You see this little thing right here? This is how your ad will look. There's two previews. This clearly kind of looks like a phone, and it is. It's the mobile version. You can click here. This is how it would look on desktop. Okay. So you're probably wondering, what in the world are all of these things down here? Well, remember when we included the site link extensions and the call out extensions? That's what these are. Okay. And so this is how it's going to look. This is how Google's going to display it. Now, depending on who clicks on these things, then Google's going to know which ones are most relevant and it will display those more. So your ad might not always have all of these, all of this text underneath here. Over time, it will kind of get pruned, right? And only the most relevant ones will display. Okay. All right. So display path. So this is the URL that's going to display. So maybe I'll say, it says Cascade Hypnosis Center. Maybe I'll say feel better. Okay. This doesn't have to be a real URL on your website, but it probably should be. Some people will just type that in. So you can see here, it says feel better. Okay. Now you guys might have some really good ideas about what your ideal clients love and what they want. And a lot of this will come from when you're working with them. They'll say, oh my gosh, I slept so much better last night. Thank you. Or I'm just not so stressed anymore. I just feel more in control. I feel better. I feel lighter. That's why I named my second book, Lighter, because so many of my clients were telling me, doing the weight loss with them, oh my gosh, I just feel lighter. I feel lighter. I feel lighter. I feel lighter. So I wrote my second book and called it Lighter. And so this is about you listening to your clients and really understanding what is their dream come true. Okay. So it's really kind of cool how we can prime our clients for how they're going to feel after working with us. That's what we want to do. Okay. All right. So the description is going to come under the ad. So let's see here. Regain control and feel better. So I might want to put something like weight loss. Oops. Weight loss, stress, stop smoking. You can use quit smoking if that's your preference. 25% off first session. Call Call now. So call now, that's a call to action. People call it a CTA. You always want to have a call to action on your ads. It might seem obvious to you guys that you want them to call or click on the website, but it's not true. As a matter of fact, we have to be very explicit in our marketing as to what we want our clients to do. So even though it says call 360, right? When it says call now, that's just very clear what we want them to do. We want to make it really easy for our clients to know exactly what we want them to do. Okay, so always have a call to action there. Call now, schedule your free consultation today. You might have something that says free consultations offered daily. Call now to schedule yours. Okay, that's a really good one. All right, people want to be able to try it out without having to pay for anything, right? So I like to use the word complimentary consultation instead of free, because free can get hit with spam filters if it comes in an email, and free can kind of seem cheap to some people. But free, guess what? Free is only 4 words and complimentary is a lot longer. And there are limitations into how many characters that you can use. As a matter of fact, that's what this is right here. That's how many characters you have for that line. That's how many characters you have here for this line, 23 out of 30, 30 out of 30. Okay. All right, so there are limitations. So we have to be very careful and creative with our marketing at times. All right. Okay. Let's see here. All right, so let's save and continue. You don't have to add URL options. That's a more advanced technique. You can think about what you want to do there maybe later, but I'll tell you guys, I have never done that. So I don't, I think there might be some companies out there that have 20 people that run their AdWords accounts, and they have all of these specific options. Like think about someone like Nike, right? They have to have all of these very specific combinations. They probably sell millions of products, right? Well, we don't need that level of complexity. We can make it really super simple for what we do. So that's the only thing I'm going to go through with you guys here today. Okay. Save and continue. Congratulations. Your campaign is ready. All right, so let's continue to the campaign, because what I want to do, here we are. Now, look along the left here, you guys. You're going to see how to navigate through AdWords. So we're at the ad group section right now. I want to add, we're in this ad group, Hypnosis 1. I want to add, ads and extensions. That's where I'm trying to go. So I want to add a new ad. Like I told you before, I want you to always have at least 2 ads. You'll learn over time which one is better. You can add a call-only ad. If you don't have a website, you can add a call-only ad. And so if you guys are just getting started, I know it can be overwhelming when you're a new hypnotist and it seems like there's 10 million things to do, but you can just do a call-only ad right now and have them call your mobile and just start. The best thing that we can do for our clients is make them an offer and get them to sign up with us, and so that we can start helping them. You don't have to have everything perfect. When I first started, I was using a friend of mine. I rented her office. My office wasn't ready yet, so I rented her office, subleased her office for a couple weeks. So there's kind of like this transitional kind of period where you can just make things work. You don't have to do everything at once. I often tell my students and my graduates that as far as your website goes, or marketing your business or these things, it's never really done. So you're never going to, come to AdWords and be like, all right, I'm done, and never have to touch it again. It's just an ongoing living and breathing thing. Okay. So it's really about the journey, just like everything else in life. I spend about 20 minutes a week on AdWords. That's it. That's it now. Now that I have my campaign up and running, it's only 20 minutes a week. So it's not that big of a deal. And the same thing can be true for you guys. Okay. Get it set up once, 20 minutes a week, go check on things. There's a company called WordStream. I'm going to type it in, WordStream. All right, WordStream. They do like a 20-minute work week check with you once you get your AdWords campaign set up. And so it's super easy to use these other analytical tools that can help you do this once you get it set up. Okay, so again, I'm trying to help you guys understand it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Okay, all right. Now, back to the text ad. We're going to create a second text ad. Let me see here. Let's do new text ad, final URL, same. Headline, let's do Bellingham Hip Hypnosis. You guys don't have to include your business or your location. But I like to, because my clients do like that. They like it, helps them feel safer that it's local, that type of thing. And it's just worked for me in the past. I just chose it at the beginning because I didn't really know what I was doing at the beginning. Actually, you know, I didn't know what I was doing at the beginning, so I did something, right? I took some action, and then it worked. And some things didn't work, and I turned them off. And so you know, this has worked. So you guys, if you can't think of anything else, just use this. As a matter of fact, in here, in this ebook, I have some example ads for you guys to look at. And the other thing, I'm going to show you how to see examples of other people's ads too, so that you can get some ideas, okay? All right, so Bellingham Hypnosis. Let's see, what should we do for this one? Bellingham Hypnosis, what else? Let's do this. Let's do improve sleep, increase. Oops, I like to do capitals on each word. I know some people don't like this. If you're like a grammar police, just this is how we do it for advertising, okay? Because it's the eyes pick it up easier. Now, you would never want to write an entire document with a capitalized first letter because it's harder on the eyes, okay? Improve sleep, increase mobility. Let's just say that you wanted to do something for, you could do, you know, weight loss or even pain relief. Okay, of course, you have to be careful with that type of a thing, that you're not using any of those terms that are of a medical nature. Okay, Google has very strict guidelines on this. And I'm going to show you guys something that you're going to have to include. You have to include a disclaimer at the bottom of your, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to show you real quick. It's super easy. I'm going to copy and paste it for you. Put it in the footer of your website. Just put it on every single page. Okay. So this is my website. And we're going to go down here to the bottom. It's just it's loading a little slow because I'm sharing my screen and doing this kind of video thing right now. But none of this part is important for what we're doing right now. This is the important part. Okay. Do not put any ads on Google until you have this. It's called a disclaimer to Google. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it in here, paste it into chat. Put that on the bottom of every single page that you have. Okay. Here's the other thing that you have to do. Again, it's just a little slow right now. Okay. About, where are my testimonials? There's my testimonials. Okay. So I've got a bunch of testimonials here. And again, here's the disclaimer. Okay. But the other thing that you have to include, when you have a testimonial on your site, it's like a quote from a client. You have to include this asterisk. You see that little dude right there? You have to have this on every page, okay? And again, the asterisk is intended to correlate with the note, okay? These are Google's rules. You just have to follow them, because if you don't follow them, they'll just turn your campaign off, and then you won't have any campaign at all, okay? And so that's why this is up here, because I didn't know that. I didn't read all of their rules. Who does that, right? I mean, do you read the little pieces of paper that they send you with products, or you just plug it in and try and make it work? I don't read the stuff. But I'll tell you this, I know a lot about Google AdWords, and I've been doing this for a really long time. So I'm going to share with you guys everything that I know so you can be successful. So this is one that you need to do. You must do. So big, bold letters, highlighted, starred, everything. Those two things must be there. The disclaimer, the asterisk, whenever there's a testimonial, which is a quote from a client or student. Okay. All right. That was a little diversion, but it's very important diversion. Okay. Back to AdWords. Okay. Increase mobility. I'm just making this up. Bellingham Hypnosis. I'm not really digging this. Improve sleep, increase mobility. I'm not really liking that ad very much. How about feel better now? Okay. Weight loss. Okay. So really super easy. You guys can spend a little bit of I mean, you can use these and see how they work, but you can spend a little bit of time, a little creative time. Again, you're all hypnotists, so get into your, do some self-hypnosis and just allow yourself, again, to connect with your potential client. What's their dream come true? What is their dream come true? What do they want to feel? What do they want to know? What do they want to hear? And that's what should be here in your text ad. Okay, so we've got all of this set again, and now we're going to save it. Where's that new text ad? There it is. Yeah. It's kind of hiding, but there it is. Save new ad. Okay, so save new ad. All right, it's under review. What I'm going to do right now, you guys, I'm at this campaign. It's going to be under review by Google just to make sure that it meets all of their guidelines. Okay, so you can easily go to AdWords and just type in policy and guidelines, and you'll be able to see all of their guidelines. It's really not that complicated. If you are doing something with pain or medical, you'll want to review that stuff very carefully. You cannot make claims that you can't say, I'm the best hypnotist in the whole wide world. Google will just not say that will not allow that ad to be there because there's no way for you to prove that. You could say, I won, well, for me, like I could say Visionary Award, NGH Visionary Award for 2017. I have proof of that. So they would have to let that through. I don't think that's going to be very helpful for my clients. Maybe my students care. I don't know. But be careful when you say things like that. If you're an author of a book, you could put things like that are kind of qualified and quantified. Okay. You can't really say things like the best or number one, those types of things Google will not allow. And I'll just get kicked back to you and it'll say this ad is disapproved. Okay. But what I'm going to do right now is I want to go up here. Oops, I'm going to go to ad groups because I don't really want to run it. I mean, I already have an ad like this, so I don't really want this to mess up what I've already got going on. So I'm just going to pause it. Okay. So once it's enabled and going, if you're brand new, it'll take up to 24 hours. So a real human person, probably somebody sitting in either Mountain View, California, where Google is, or maybe someplace halfway around the world, is actually going to look at your ad. So if you are brand new, they're going to do a couple of things. They're going to go to your website and they're going to make sure that you have that disclaimer. They're going to make sure that your site doesn't say or do anything that's inappropriate, meaning making false claims, that type of a thing, and then you will be approved. So my ad was green and it was being approved right away. That's because I've been a client of theirs for a long time. If you're brand new, don't be worried if it takes 1 or 2 days, okay? Because that's just standard, okay? If you're brand new. Okay. All right, so let's say you've got your ad out there. All right, so a couple other things that I want to share with you. And we're probably going to go, I'm looking at the clock right now. I realize that it's almost 10 a.m., so it's been almost an hour. Probably going to go another maybe 15 minutes, and then I'll open it up to questions just to give you guys an understanding of where I'm at with time. Okay. I'm just looking at my notes to make sure I cover everything. Okay, a couple of things. And I'm going to show you keywords. Okay. Okay, so there's something called a negative keyword. Okay, so a negative keyword is a word that if somebody were to type it in, your ad would absolutely not be displayed. I'll give you a couple examples. There is a type of hypnosis called erotic hypnosis. I don't do erotic hypnosis. So if somebody types in erotic hypnosis, I don't want to show my ad. That's not relevant. Okay. Now some people do erotic hypnosis. That would be totally appropriate for their business, not mine. So I'm going to type in negative erotic. Okay. The other thing that I don't do, which a lot of people do, totally fine, but I don't do stage hypnosis. Okay. Let's just say for some reason I decided I don't want to do, I'm just making this up because I really do everything else. Let's just say I decided I don't want to do like pain relief or something. So you could type in negative pain. Okay. So why would I do that? Well, you want to make your site as relevant as possible because you don't want people finding you and you're not going to be able to help them, right? So you only want your site displayed, your ads displayed if it's relevant. Okay, so that's how you do it. You put the little negative in front of there, and that's how you'll get a negative keyword. Okay, the erotic and stage, those are the ones that I use primarily kind of globally across all my campaigns. Okay, I might also do like training on this one, just to make sure that Google doesn't show this ad for my hypnosis training. Okay, I shouldn't have to do this, but you know, I might just do it just because. Okay, so save that. Please select an ad group. Okay, hypnosis and save. Okay. All right. All but removed. Okay, very good. Okay, so now, where did those ads go? Oh, there they are. I'm sorry, it looks like that little negative sign automatically put them over here in this negative keyword section. Okay, that makes sense. All right. You can also have a global negative keyword search, and that's going to be, that's kind of outside the scope of this. It's in the book, okay? It's in the book. Now you can have a global negative keyword list, and you just say, yes, apply this negative keyword to it. Okay. Here's what I want to show you guys. Let's go to all campaigns. So I told you earlier, I want you to run this ad for 30 days, and then you're going to see who's actually clicking on it. So let's do this. I'm going to go, let's just do let's do last month, let's say. Okay, so for last month, let's go to basic hypnosis number 2. So I'm going to show you some real live data. Keywords. So you go to the campaign, you click on it, this will come up, you click on keywords, and then you go to search terms. Okay, so why is this important? These are the terms that actual people really typed in to find you, okay? So once you run your campaign for 30 days, those 2 ads with plus hypnosis, plus hypnotherapy, all of that, okay, those kind of generic terms, you're gonna come here to the search terms, and you'll get to see what people are actually typing in. Okay, so hypnotherapy, hypnosis in Bellingham. This is another reason why I use the word Bellingham. Look at all of these people who are actually typing the word Bellingham in, okay? So after 30 days, you're gonna be able to come here and see what people are actually using to find you. So maybe you're in a bigger location, like a larger metropolitan area. People might not be searching for the city name. They might be searching for kind of like the area that you're in, right? Like if you're in New York or something, there might be a part of the town, a part of the city that people refer to, and that's what they're searching for. So you might want to use that as a keyword in your keywords for that campaign. Okay, so this gives you data that you can act on to make your ads more relevant, kind of fine tune them. Okay. The other thing, so I've showed you the negative keywords. I've showed you the search terms report. I want to show you a couple really good tools now. All right, so where do you find the tools? Go up here to this little wrench and click on that. All right, so the first thing that you can type in is the keyword planner. Okay, so the keyword planner is going to help you determine what keywords you might want to use for a campaign, but it's also going to help you understand how many people are searching for something in your area. Okay, so for example, let's say you were just curious, how many people are looking for hypnosis for stopping smoking in my area? Like, you want to know how many people are looking for that. Okay, so you could do this. Your product or services, hypnosis, smoking. Okay, I'm not going to put stop. I'm not going to put quit. I don't need either of those words. The only words I really need are hypnosis and smoking. Okay, your landing page. Let's just do this. I need. Okay, that's fine. Product category. I don't need to add all of these things here. Okay, so I've got it. It's remembered my location. We can change that to English. Google negative keywords. Okay. So this is going to show me the average last 12 months. Okay. Get ideas. So it's going to crunch away for a few seconds. It's looking for the trends for search data. Okay. hypnosis. So these are the keywords. Hypnosis for smoking. On average, there are 10 searches for that every month. All right. So let's just say that there are 10 searches and you had half of them clicked on your site. Okay. That'd be a pretty good rate, a click-through rate, which means your ad is displayed, which is an impression, and they clicked on it. Okay. 50% of them. Would you like to have 5 new clients a month? I think that'd be pretty cool. Just because they click on your site doesn't mean they're going to be your client. So even from there, we can assume maybe 25% of them would be a client. Okay. So it might cost you, if you were to pay for all 10 of these, it might cost you $30 a month, and you might get 2 clients for hypnosis for smoking. Okay. Would that be worth $30 to you? Most hypnotists I know would say absolutely it's worth $30 to get 2 stop smoking hypnosis clients in the month. Okay. But I want to show you something really important. Okay, so let's go up here. You might think, Erica, it'd be so much better to just get rid of the word smoking or get rid of the word hypnosis. So let me show you this. I'm going to run it again. It's crunching away. Okay. So you might look at this and say, oh my gosh, Erica, there are 210 people searching for smoking. Why wouldn't I just do smoking, right? Wouldn't that be so much better? And the answer is absolutely not. And the reason is because it's not relevant. Think of everybody that's searching for something that has to do with smoking. It could be the patch. It could be smoking. It could be smoking other things. First of all, it could be for pipes. It could be for filters. It could be anything. Okay. So the more relevant you make things, the better it is. Even if it's reducing the number of searches in the month, they're going to be highly relevant for you. And that's really what you want, right? You want those people calling you who are really interested in doing hypnosis with you for what you are advertising for. Okay. So that is a really important aspect of this. Let me see if there's something else. There is something else I want to share with you guys. The cool thing about Keyword Planner, it does open up in its own window here. And so this can kind of help you be like kind of creative mind and just see, what other things you might want to be searching on. For example, Google will give you things that are related to smoking. So if you are going to do a smoking campaign specifically, you'll probably want to have in your campaign keywords like nicotine or patch or something like that. You'll probably want to use both words, quit or stop. I personally don't think I really use either because it's not necessary. I really need the word smoking in there. The other thing that's really cool though, you guys, I want you to take note of this. Now, for those of you who like to write, if you like to write blog articles, you love writing, it's really something that you enjoy doing, check this out. Look, these are what people are really searching for. So best way to quit smoking, there's a blog article right there. Best way to quit smoking. You might want to write a blog article that's titled The Best Way to Quit Smoking. Okay. So these are the things that people are actually searching for. Okay. So Google gives us all this information for free. It's really cool. Okay. One other thing that I want to show you, and this is just the high level stuff, you guys, we could go dive deeper into each one of these areas quite a bit. I'm giving you the high level information so you can get your campaign started. All right. We're going to go back to AdWords. We're going to go back to the gear, the little wrench. I want to show you the ad preview and diagnosis. Now, I don't want you searching for your own ad. Please don't search for my ad either, because one of 2 things will happen. If you search for my ad or your own ad, it's going to have an impression. If you click on it, then you're going to pay for it, or I will pay for it if you click on my ad. And if you're just doing it to check things out, it's really not the right way to do it. So Google knows that. And so Google has created this this ad preview and diagnosis tool to help you just look at campaigns and look at ads without actually incurring either a fee for yourself or a fee for another hypnotist if you're just kind of browsing or looking at things. And so this is the right way to do it, even when you're looking at your own ads. Okay, so I'm here in basic hypnosis number 2. If I were to type in hypnosis, or ad is showing. Okay. So this is how I know if my ad is showing. Okay. So when your ad is ready, you can come here and yes, you can know where I'm at. Okay. You can come here and just make sure that your ad is showing. Okay. But the other thing that's kind of cool is you can see how it's being displayed. So here you can see another couple cool things here that I'll just share with you guys. This is called Google star rating. So I highly recommend that you go. I'm going to type it into the search terms again. Business.google.com. Make sure your site is listed there. Okay. And when your site is listed there, you can start getting a star rating. People can write you reviews, those types of things. But that's why, my business here has 14 5-star reviews. So that's compelling to clients. Okay. They see that, oh, that looks like a legitimate good place. I'm going to go there. Right. Okay. And then you can see other things that are showing up for your site here or for what you searched for. If you're curious, like let's say that you want to know, let's say, I had a friend recently, she was moving to Florida. So she was moving from Long Island to Florida. And so she did some of this work. She was looking at what's the relevancy of some of her work in the new county that she was going to be working in. So she adjusted some of her ads accordingly based on other people that were advertising in the area and other things that she saw people were searching for. Okay. All right. So the plan is to follow through with what I've shared with you guys here today. Get your $50 coupon, your $75 when you spend $25, right? So it's effectively a $50 coupon. Get your site set up for 2 ads, run it for a month, go to the search terms report, and then you're going to make some tweaks to it based on what comes up in the search terms report. Okay, so that would be a little bit more of an advanced topic. Like how do you tweak your ads? It's a little beyond what we have time for here today. It is something that I share with my the students in my mentoring group. So this is something that I share with people that I work with regularly when I have graduates that my graduates, and they can come into my mentoring group and I help them with these types of things. But that's why I shared with you guys WordStream. So WordStream can help you with that. Okay, so that would be the plan. So I'm going to type it in for you. Get the Google ad. No, get the Google coupon. Okay, so you just type in Google AdWords coupon. Okay, and then the next thing would be set up account, adwords.google.com. You're going to have to give them your credit card. Okay, and then the next thing would be set up one generic campaign, just exactly as we did today. With, oops, I think I spelled that wrong. CMPAIGN, okay. With 2 ads and keywords as demonstrated. Okay, and then the next thing would be wait a month and use search terms report and wordstream.com to adjust. Okay, that's a very basic overview of what you guys could do here just to get started. But, I would say like for the first year, I didn't really do any adjusting. I didn't really modify anything. I was like so amped that I was transitioning from software, which was awesome too, by the way. I was just so in love with hypnosis, which I am even more now because it's even, I've been doing it, for almost 6 years now. So it's even better. But, I just didn't really modify my AdWords campaign very much at all. I know a lot more about it now, so I modify it a little more frequently now. But back then I didn't, and it still worked. So it still worked. All right. So that's what I want to share with you guys today is hopefully a hopeful message to get you started and get you helping more people. I'm going to end kind of this aspect of the presentation now. I'm going to go back to video real quick. And then, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Let me ask you guys something. Can you see a little picture of me in the bottom of the screen? All I need is just one person to answer that question. Can you still see me in the bottom of the screen? Yes, thank you, Barbara. Okay, so you can still see me, so that's fine. So here's what I want to do. Because it can be kind of boring just to look at a screen for too long, right? So it's kind of nice to see somebody's face. All right, so here's what I want to do. I haven't been following the chat because I've been talking to you guys, okay? So here's the time for you to ask me questions, all right? There's a little hand. You see a little blue hand there? If you want to ask a question live, just press that little blue hand and I'll let you ask the question that way. Otherwise, you can ask a question just in the text and I'll just start with whatever comes up first. Okay, so I'm assuming there's questions. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, I'm so glad that you found it useful, Luis. Luis, where are you located? Please share with everyone where you are. I want to know where everybody is today. I hope you guys are all ready to go for the holidays, right? I am already. I don't even have to travel. I just got back from a 10-day trip to Kauai, which I highly, highly, highly recommend. By the way, you guys, feel free to follow me online. I am at, the best way to follow me online, I think, is probably Facebook, Erica C. Flint. So send me a friend request. I post stuff like this all the time about AdWords, about hypnosis, about training, about other cool stuff like that. So, oh, Karen Hand, so glad that, to have you here. Karen Hand is awesome, you guys. If you haven't worked with Karen Hand, she's fabulous. Highly recommend Karen Hand. All right. Portland, Oregon. Denise, hello. Miri, oh, you're very welcome. I'm so glad you guys are finding this helpful. Surrey, UK. Oh, Luis, is anybody further away than Luis? I don't know how many thousands of miles away you would be, Luis. All right. Oh, Joe, you're so welcome. Yes, I'm glad that you find it a generous Christmas present. I just want you guys to be able to help more people without all the struggle, right? Without the stress, without the struggle. We want to just do hypnosis, right? Am I right? Just want to do some hypnosis and help people and not have to worry about all this other stuff. Is there a replay? Yes, there's going to be a replay. As a matter of fact, this software that I'm using today, you guys, is called Webinar Jam. If you like it, I think it's about $700 for the year. So what I'm using right now is called Webinar Jam. They record it. And so once it's saved, you guys should get an automatic email that says, here is the recording. Okay, I signed up myself just to make sure that I would get that. So you will get a link to the copy of the recording. All right, so any question? Oh, jealous of the Kauai trip, Amy. It was fantastic. Seriously, my favorite island. I've been to all of them. It's just gorgeous and rugged. The Nepali coast was beautiful there. Let's see, where to find the book you referred to and if there is a replay. So get new client. I'm assuming that you mean the Google book. My personal books, so my books on hypnosis, lighter, and reprogram your way are on Amazon. And Karen Hand's book is on Amazon too. So you can search for Karen Hand, you can search for Erica Flint, and you'll find our books on Amazon. This book is on my website. I'm going to type it in one more time. Cascade Hypnosis training.com AdWords. It's an ebook. Okay. Now, a little bit of a disclaimer with the ebook. The screenshots are a little bit old. And as I told you, Google changes their interface all the time. So if the screenshot doesn't look exactly like what's in the book, you know, that's all right. You guys will be just fine. Just remember, Erica told me Google changes stuff all the time. I know it's here on the page somewhere. If you absolutely can't find it, you take a screenshot, send it to my email, and I'll point out where it is for you. Okay. Let's see. I got stuck on Google AdWords and can't get off. Oh no, that sounds like a nightmare. I'm not quite sure how to help you with that. Stuck on Google AdWords, is this metaphorical, or are you literally meaning your web page is stuck on Google AdWords? I'm not sure. First part of the training. I think I'm answering all the questions. Does anybody have a specific question related to using AdWords? I do, Amy, I do like Webinar Jam. Oh, Jane, okay, you meant Express. Yeah, okay. You know what, I have to tell you guys, there are people out there who think AdWords Express works for them, so I'm not gonna say anything bad about it. It just didn't work for me personally, okay? So you can try it and see if you get, so how do you know? Well, you get clients from it. That's how you know, it's bottom line, right? Webinar Jam is kind of cool. So let's just say, since we're all hypnotists here, I know you guys want to grow your business, so I'll just tell you a little bit more about Webinar Jam. So Webinar Jam, this is recorded today, and you guys are going to get a recording. Well, there's a complementary sister product called EverWebinar. Okay, so let's just say, and I'm not going to do it for this one because this is very personal and I'm answering your personal questions and everything, but let's just say that I decided, hey, I want to run this webinar every single day at noon for anybody who wants to watch it, right? I could take this video and it'll just automatically go to EverWebinar, And then I set up EverWebinar to play every day at noon. And then guess what I do? I go to Facebook and I run a campaign that says, hey, get my Google campaigns or my AdWords campaign webinar, here it is. And so it can run automatically. So Webinar Jam, EverWebinar, they go together. And the first one that you do is live, like what we're doing here. But then you can take that recording and run it as an evergreen webinar. Okay. Amy has a question about a call-only campaign. If you're new and don't have a website, how do they review your ad for that disclosure that you mentioned? Very good question, Amy. I don't know. They probably don't. I don't think you'd have to have it on your website, right? Because you don't have a website. So, but I haven't done that yet. I would suggest just doing the call-only ad and putting it to your to your phone number. You wouldn't have you clearly, there's no place for you to put that disclaimer, so it wouldn't be required for a call-only ad, is my guess. You can find. Let me pull up real quick. AdWords terms and conditions. AdWords current terms and conditions. Okay, so all right, so there's going to be a lot of information here, and this is really not what I was looking for. So this is the legal stuff. You guys don't want to read that. We want more of the help center, AdWords Help Center, because nobody wants to read legalese. Okay, so AdWords Help Center. Okay, there's a lot of information here. I'm not going to go over everything. But Amy, I really think you probably don't have to have it there. Oh, Beryl, have fun in Spain. You'll get a copy of the review or of the recording. Okay. Negative keywords that we might consider, like clinical depression, bipolar, and other observable mental disorders. Well, I think, Jane, here's my personal opinion on that. What terms do our clients use? Okay, our clients use terms like anxiety. Excuse me. Our clients use terms like depression. Okay. Now hypnotists, we know what we're supposed to do. We get the medical referral. We don't use those medical terms, but our clients do. Okay. So, and you probably are doing this on your webpage. Like, let's say that you might have something on your webpage that says something like, for any medical issue, we work in conjunction with your doctor and we require a medical release or referral from your doctor. So you're going to have all of that on your webpage, I would guess. Okay. Now, as far as advertising for those terms, you do have to be very careful. I would definitely I don't advertise for clinical depression. I don't do any advertising for those. I don't know that I would do a negative keyword there though. And here's why, because let's just say somebody types in the word hypnosis for clinical depression. Now, would you be able to help that person? Probably, if they got a referral from their doctor, right? So you wouldn't want your ad not to show up just because your client used that term, right? So I don't know that I would put clinical depression in my negative keywords. I would not advertise for it, but I probably wouldn't put it in my negative keywords. I probably wouldn't have it on my webpage though either, right? I might say something like, if you're coming to us for clinical depression, or if you're coming to us for anything of a medical nature, whether it's mental or physical, we require a referral from your medical practitioner. And here's how you go through those steps. It's really easy. Here's the forms to fill out, blah, 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 all of that stuff, right? And so that's what I would do. I hope that answers your question. Let's see here. Got to run. See you in the new year. Bye, Karen. Take good care. Please, can you tell me how I can get a copy of the ebook? Yes. You go to cascadehypnosistraining.com/AdWords. I'll type it in one more time. Cascadehypnosistraining.com AdWords. Okay, I'm going to give you guys my email. Center.com. Send me any questions. You can send me Merry Christmas if you want. You can send me anything you'd like to my email address. I greatly appreciate it. And I just have to say something, you guys. This has been my great pleasure and honor here to be here with you guys today. Isn't it amazing to be a part of something like Hypnotic Women and just be able to share knowledge and help the world be a better place with hypnosis, but also just share this type of information about marketing and that type of a thing. So please reach out to me, follow me online. I have a lot more information on my website. I have a training library on my website. So let me just show you that before we go real quick. Cascade Hypnosis Training.com. So let me do the AdWords first. I'll show you the AdWords page. So this is where you can get the book that I've been talking about. So you just press download now, okay? That's it. That's me with my first book there. You can see I'm really happy because I was happy about my book. But on my Cascade Hypnosis training, there's something else I want to share. So if you like this today, I've got tons of other information out there to help you guys be successful in practical ways, okay? I don't go over the top on every theoretical, component. It's got to be kind of where the rubber meets the road. How do we really help clients with hypnosis, right? So if you go down to the bottom, no, it's not coming up for me right now. But what you can do, there's the truth about becoming hypnosis professional. And where's the other thing that I wanted to show you? Check out the free hypnosis training guides. So that's where you would click. You'd click there and there's a whole bunch of free hypnosis training guides about marketing, about hypnosis, about, getting referrals from your clients, about, all sorts of really cool things about hypnosis, initial consultations, priming your clients, all sorts of really cool stuff there that are just broken down into practical measures. Okay. All right. So that's it for me, you guys. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and I wish you well in the new year. Hope to hear from you. Please connect with me online, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.